Okay guys, let's talk about lesson 4 now. Focus on the 4 C's. So you learned from the video that the 4 C's are communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. Okay, so for this lesson what we're going to do is we're going to think of examples of communication and examples of what collaboration looks like, examples of what critical thinking look like, and examples of what creativity looks like. And then we're going to talk about what it looks like if we're not communicating, or if we're not collaborating, or if we're not critically thinking, or if we don't have creativity. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is communication. This communication is very important. So we're going to give an example of what communication looks like. So communication is when you, let's underline it here. Communication is when you talk with others about your ideas, okay? And then maybe a non-example of communication would be if you keep your ideas to yourself. Okay, all right, so for collaboration, an example of collaboration is a lot of times we do group work in the classroom, right? We have to work with our team members. So that's what collaboration is working together in a group. Okay, so a non-example of collaboration would be like if you had a group project that you were supposed to work on, but maybe you refused to work with your team members. You said you wanted to work on your own or something like that. So doing a group project by yourself would be a non-example of collaboration. Okay, and critical thinking, you saw from the video, critical thinking is really using your brain to kind of to think outside the box, right? To think outside the box, and to not just give basic answers. Okay, so a non-example would be to give basic answers to problems. Okay, now creativity, that one's a little bit harder to think about because a lot of us don't really know how creative we can be, and we're not given that avenue to do creative things. So creativity is kind of coming up with your own ideas. Okay, and a non-example of creativity is if you don't come up with your own ideas. That would be copying other people's ideas, right? Okay. All right, and so this is your lesson on the 4 C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And don't just stop thinking about these in this slide, but also across your whole life. How can you use these in your whole school career as you go into the 4th grade and the 5th grade and the 6th grade, and then junior high, and then high school, and then when you start college, and then possibly your career? You're going to need these always. So keep that in mind. And that's it for lesson 4.